one, go. It's time to go, Brodyn.
How's it going, guys?
Summer Slam is on. There's some great fish already. I see Curtis Jensen is off on the trout kicking it hard, eh?
Well, he's actually, from what I've seen just recently, he's now onto bass already.
Yeah, I talked with him the other day.
Yeah, so he's obviously doing a little bit of a jump start on most people.
Yeah, and Rendy's got bass on the board and fried chicken legs on the board. So
correct. He pretty sure he can doesn't need a jumpsuit or anything. It makes it look like he's got pants on now.
Yeah, well, yeah. If he just puts on socks, he's just wearing red leggings.
Yeah, and like I saw a nice walleye caught by Jill the other day too. That was a nice quality walleye.
Yeah, there's been some nice walleye, absolutely.
And then Flynn doing his typical pike binge.
A few guys. I saw a few new people to the Summer Slam. They're Roy, Shane, and
oh yes, that
Alon.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, they were out doing out at Eagle, out at Terran's stopping grounds, trying to get the big pike.
I noticed that. That was good.
Yeah, so we just wanted to kind of kick it off again, and there's just a couple things that we just wanted to make sure everybody's aware of. So with the Summer Slam and a couple other things, so I will let Brodyn take over the Summer Slam stuff, and then I'll touch on the couple other things.
So okay, guys, nice work on a lot of the really quality fish that we've seen already. After looking at quite a few of them now, I have unfortunately noticed a few competitors haven't signed their waivers yet uploading fish. So if you look at the rules, it comes with the waivers. We require you to sign the waivers. It's all just legal reasons and safety. So we require you to sign them first and then send them to us before you can upload fish. Unfortunately, don't mean to be the asshole here, but I can't approve a fish if you haven't signed your waivers. It's just simple as that. We got to nip that on the butt right now. Second of all, I noticed a few people with their expandable Frabbel boards. They haven't done the markings. I know we've stipulated this about 3 or 4 times now. Obviously, get a little permanent marker and mark out the numbers, as well as when you've got it fully expanded, put that permanent marker at that locked position. So then it's very clear, because I know from experience, because I used to use that board, that if you get a big enough fish and such, it can block that whole number section. So we can't actually get a clear picture of if you've got it fully expanded. So if we can see a black mark in that spot, we know that you've got it fully expanded, and we can obviously warrant you those inches. And another one that I've noticed, there's a couple more powered guys in the events this year. As stated in the rules, also, you must send us a photo of your kayak with that motor, because not saying that you're doing it, but I have seen some guys on the motorized kayaks get some pretty specced out motors on those kayaks recently. So we just try to keep it all reasonably fair and stuff. Hey, Gord. And that's, from what I can see, everything else, everyone's doing good. Make sure if you do not have the identifier card, reach out to us. We can send them out. Or stop by your AQ at Edmonton or Calgary. They've also got stock of them too. So just make sure they're in the picture. Make sure they're clear. Don't be putting them in spots that we can't see. I had to deny a few fish where I can clearly see the corner of the card, but I can't see any part of the card or any numbers or anything because they've got it on the wrist. So when Taryn has mentioned this, and I have mentioned this in the past, when you take a photo of the fish, put it back in the net. Check your photo. Make sure you've got everything. Do have a checklist. Have I got it up to the front of the bump? Have I got it at my bump board fully expanded? Is my identifier card visible? Is the numbers visible in that bump board on that picture? Because that's what we all require to, like, I can't go on an honor system and say, oh, this is a 30-inch pike and I can't quite see 30. It's all blurry. I can't run an honor system. It has to be all legit. So please, if you can do that and ensure a couple of clearer pictures, that would be very much appreciated.
So
and I think,
give me 1 sec here. So now just on bump boards.
oh yeah, also any homemade bump boards and such, please send us a picture of them beside with a tape measure beside them, just to so then we've got proof and all that to make sure they're all matching the measurements and stuff. Like sometimes they can be like a little bit out, like a quarter of an inch out and stuff like that. So we need to make sure they're exact. And yeah.
Just trying to see. I don't think I can get my I can't get my snipping tool to work while I'm live.
What's your snipping tool?
Just in Windows. Yeah. So for any homemade bump boards, send the picture either via email or to the trail messenger of that bump board next to a tape measure. It's nothing new. We've done it before in the past. For anybody that's competed in the SummerSlam, the first 2 years that I ran it, we had everything was done like that. So everybody had to submit pictures of it. Give me just 1 second here. Why do people always send such small little pictures?
And I think I got the one. So, for instance, if we could get this on my phone to transfer, if you plan on using multiple bump boards, just do a simple photo like Flynn has done. Hate to name names, but oh, there we go. So he's got all 3 of his bump boards he plans on using with a tape measure, measuring it all out to make it all exact. If you can do a photo similar to that,
yeah,
we can obviously approve those bump boards.
Yes, for anybody taking those pictures, always put your net off the head side, because when a fish flops, that's the way it's going to go. You're going to lose it that way. So
if you watch that video that we shared of me last year, I explain it. I actually use a yak attack net, and it fits like really nice under the seat. So you can jam it in there, and like Roy says, you can save a fish if it flops off the side, can't you, Mike?
We won't talk about losing fish off the side of a kayak. And the sad thing is, I was like bouncing against the rocks on shore, and it still got away on me.
I like Mark's comment. Mark, if you didn't see in our another video, you could actually buy these little lanyards. Actually, I'll go with my PFD. A little lanyard that fits to your phone.
Yeah. With that, guys, like he was saying, that's a big thing. I'm just, while he's looking up that, I'm trying to Google the ones that I found on Amazon. They're dirt cheap, and you can get them. They just stick into the back of your phone case. Yep. So I'll bring this up. They're great because then you can use any kind of lanyard or anything with it.
So I clip it to my little accessory clip of my Raku, but you can clip it to any zip or anything, and it's a stretchy lanyard with a little clip, and it clips straight underneath onto my phone. If you could sort of see it, there it is. And that is then stuck onto the inside of my phone case. It's basically impossible for it to come out. We don't want to do a David Band and lose their phone at the Trout Derby. There we go. Very cheap insurance. That one's the non-springy one. Yes. You're muted, Mike.
There we go. Let's get it off mute. This little piece they showed attaching to your phone case or to your phone. I actually just attached it to the backside of my phone case, like inside my phone case. So if I want to take my phone out of the case and not have that hanging down, or if I'm going somewhere, going out for the night, that kind of stuff, that's what you can use right there. So like this is all I searched up. I just did phone lanyard holder. When I hit search, you'll see there's tons of them in here, but this is the ones I've bought 2 of these. Depending where you live, if you're looking for one right away, you can get it here by Monday. So super easy to get these guys. Let's bring Brodyn's camera back on.
Yeah.
One other thing to bring up, we've talked about it before. Gills. No hands, no nothing in the gills of the fish. You can't have anything sitting in the gills of the fish when you're taking those pictures. We want everybody to keep their hands right out. So keep your hands out of there. Don't tuck anything in underneath that gill plate where the gills are. It's the last thing we want to do is be potentially hurting those fish at all. Other than that, SummerSlam, yeah. If you're, like Brodyn said, send in pictures of your measuring boards, especially if they're a homemade one. If you're using one of the fishing trail, the big Ruby's Outdoors ones that we had made up, the Western Canada Kayak Fishing Trail, we know those ones are good because you're not going to, unless you're a spectacular aluminum welder and powder coater, Dave Parkinson, I'm talking to you. You're not going to be doing anything with that. But if it's a homemade board, you have to submit that picture.
Yeah.
Code of conducts need to be signed. We've actually updated the rules and stuff to state that if you're submitting them, fish entered without the code of conduct will be denied. If you're using a homemade bump board, we're going to deny it. If there's anything in the gills, we're going to deny it. Any other words of wisdom for SummerSlam, Brodyn? It's kind of your thing. Oh, Curtis is just joining. Oh, is the fishing slow? Are we bothering you, Curtis?
Yeah, boy. He's got Hector watching his bobber right now, so he's good.
Oh, yes. Hector's running the rod for him.
Yeah. So technically, well, he's a dog, but I was going to say you could almost run 2 rods, but no, he can't.
He identifies as a person.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, you can fish wherever you want, whenever you want. Like as people if they haven't noticed, Curtis is obviously doing a little bit of a jump start on people, and he's in BC right now.
Well, yeah, this is how you know where he is. He's trying to work on his Rindy tan because Rindy says, saw Curtis today, talked on the highway a bit. So Curtis is in BC hitting his bass. So.
Yeah. So those two are going to be matching twins soon because I know Curtis burns like Trevor, basically red in 2 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I even commented on that. It's people talk about it. If you're a true kayak fisherman, your legs should look like that at least 5 times by the end of June.
So, Mark, we do not actually allow those. It's you can use them to bring the fish in, but with the photo, just remove them. There is studies of them when especially pike decide to barrel roll. Those lip grippers do actually rip out their jaw and create a hole through their mouth.
Yeah. And any of those lip pliers, I recommend you never use them.
Yeah.
The jaw spreader that you stick in and open up, those I've got 4 sets of them. I will say the best ones I've ever seen are the ones that I use. They're made by Cuda because they've got nice flat spots, but then on top and bottom, they've got nice, big, long arched pieces. So it stops them from rolling in a pike's mouth, which is a big one.
And
but yeah, no lip grips or whether it's the plastic lip grip or fish grip or whatever you call it, or the little metal ones that go in. They can't be in any photos. Any photos with those, that will be denied.
The one thing that I will accept if used correctly is, I don't know the actual name of it. I know Jill Jordan has one. It's a little orange, little gill plate thing. You can use them on pike because obviously it's a predatory fish, a bit bigger. So it's a little rubber device, like a rubber hook that slides in and basically gets into the gill plate if you don't want to put your fingers in under the gill plate. So if you want to keep your fingers a little bit safer, I don't bother. I just put my hand in there and hold on.
Yeah, same here. I'm trying to think. I know the exact ones you're talking about. It's a round handle with a little spike that comes off, and it slides right up into the gill plate. And they are phenomenal to use. The guys up at, I think they're up in the territories at one of the lodges are the actual guys that created those.
Yeah. Mark, if you have any questions also, feel free to private message me and stuff, like on my own Facebook and stuff, and I can help you out, and we might be able to meet up and I can give you a little bit of helping hand with some of those pike.
I'm just going to try and see anybody's on and they remember the name of the lodge that had those. They're at the sportsman derbies all the time. Just trying to see if I can find them. But yeah, they're a great invention because they just literally slide up the gill plate and then they lock in, and then you've got something good and secure.
It's actually, of all the simplest things, it's called a gill hook. So from Fish Lifter. So something like that. It's got a little hand piece.
Yeah, here, I'm just going to do a screen share here. So these are the guys that that I saw them from. So exactly like what Brodyn just showed.
Yeah. If you don't want to get your hands close to the mouth, you can always use one of them. They've been proven to actually be far safer. Yep. Joel's just chimed in. Yeah. Yeah, you are correct, Joel. So yeah, they've been definitely studied and proven that they're much safer on the fish if you don't want to put your hands in there. And like we've said in the past, if you're not confident holding certain fish and all that, and there's people around, especially in tournaments, feel free to call out for help. We're all in this together, especially when it comes to some of the bigger pike and all that, and then some of the bigger fish. We want to ensure their safety and make sure they're handled properly and released to swim another day.
Yeah. But yeah, so those things are available out there. I think actually we'll probably try as a group, we'll probably try and see if we can't maybe get a deal on some to order in to sell through the trail, and they'd be a great tool for us. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll message Jill after and see where she got hers from.
Yeah, off the hook. I'm just trying to see.
Yeah, Chad's comment. There's I beg to differ from experience, and there is video evidence of if we were less family friendly, I would post it, but there is quite a lot of swearing going on when I got sliced open. And but they will bite again.
Yes. Yeah, they will definitely bite multiple times. I remember my first kayak was a little Pelican sit inside one, and I was fishing up at Christina Lake. I was up working, and I brought in I think it was 36 or 39-inch pike, and not nothing major, but big enough that as I was sitting there trying to get the hook out, it went down into the kayak, and I got bit on the one toe. So I just jumped out of my kayak and swam to shore, pulling my kayak with me instead of trying to fight with it. So
fair enough. There's four summers ago, My first time out in my kayak, I caught my first pike. Wasn't anything to write home about, but me being from overseas, didn't know what to do with it. So me not thinking and thinking like an ocean fisherman, I just put my hand in its mouth and ripped out the jig head, and then ended up having a bunch of tiny pinholes in my hand. So I recommend not doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than that, the trout derby is coming up next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend, Open Creek Dam. If you haven't already registered, reach out to us on the Facebook page. It is $50 for the trout derby, $50, and that's on the Saturday. If you're going to stay the Sunday as well, it's another $50 for the sucker derby. There are still a few campsites. They're kind of up the hill now. I think we've pretty much got the loop fully booked with multiple campers in any of the bigger spots. So if you're coming, let us know. We'll get you in there. As far as the sucker derby, for anybody that's coming, if you want worms, please reach out to the trail page by Monday morning at the latest and let us know. $6 for a dozen dew worms. We're getting them brought in through the caretakers at Open Creek Dam that are hosting us for the derby. So if you want some, let us know how many packs of 12 you want. As I said, they're $6 a pack, and you'll be able to just go to their little office there and pick those up. So let us know on that.
Also, one other thing with the trout derby, I know we've been asked quite a few times over Messenger, can I use a hair jig? You cannot use a hair jig. Even though it is theoretically deemed as a fly, it is also deemed as a jig.
Yes.
So the stipulation is anything that is tied on with has a tie-on weight, like dumbbell eyes, like that, is all okay. Or if you've got a tungsten or brass bead tied on, anything like that is fine, but not an actual molded jig head. You cannot have something like that on the fly. You can, however, put a bunch of split shot right in front of the hook on the line, as past winner John has done.
Yep, and that's I'm sure there'll be lots of them doing that. I know Emily will be sitting in the back of my kayak as I chauffeur her around with her spin rod, trolling a fly and competing this year. So, and that's exactly what I'm going to set her up as a spin rod with some split shot and a fly, and away we go. The captain's meeting for that will be next Wednesday. So make sure you tune in, because after that, come Thursday, you will not be able to get hold of me to ask any questions, because I am heading out to the lake and I do not have cell service out there. So we'll put up the posts, all of that kind of stuff on how to get there, everything on Wednesday. But for anybody on Bell or Telus, you won't have cell service out on the lake. There's a couple spots where you might find it if you're lucky, but we won't be using the app. You'll be taking pictures. You're still going to be required to use your tag in the picture to prove that that was caught that day, so I don't have to go through looking at the date and time you caught your fish. So we'll give you the code and everything, but we won't be running it through the app. So for anybody that's unsure about the app for the trout derby and the sucker derby, they won't be run through the app. It'll all just be bring your phones in. We'll look at it. We'll copy down the measurements. We'll put it into a spreadsheet. We'll hit sort, and away we go from there.
And very, very wise words, Brayton. Fake it till you make it, basically.
We have.
Oh, yeah. Who just says I'm not faking now?
Yeah, exactly. And Brodyn and I were kind of chatting about this. Big, huge thank yous to Dakota Lithium. They are sponsoring every single one of our derbies with prizes. Luz has sponsored fishing rods for every derby. Blackwater Paddles and Western Canoe and Kayak have sponsored paddles for every one of the derbies. We've got at the Trout Derby, we have a Echo Map 9 ultra high definition with live scope being donated as a door prize from GPS Central. At the east slope, we have Old Town giving us a 12-foot Sportsman pedal. Kokatat again stepping up with a dry suit. Werner Paddles has been with us for years. Scotty Railblazes stepped up with a bunch of their new kayak carts. So the bunk style cart from Railblazer, there'll actually be one of those available to win at the Trout Derby. And
I'll post some pictures of these a little later on so people can get a good idea of what they look like.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, we just keep getting more and more. So like I've said it before, go to our Facebook page or go to our WordPress site, WCKFT. There you go. Burnt Rock Adventures as well, out of Vermilion with a bunch of gift cards. Go to our WordPress site, wckft.wordpress.com. Click on sponsors and go down the list. We are constantly adding sponsors logos there. If you click on their site, it takes you to, if you click on the logo, it takes you to their site. Another one that's just come on board, and I was just talking to Brodyn about this for anybody that's around Central Alberta. There are 2 half-day guided trips that you can look at getting out at the North Saskatchewan and go out and catch yourself a sturgeon on the North Saskatchewan, anywhere that these guys are going. So the Trout Derby's got some amazing prizes. We've got prizes for all of the derbies. We've got major sponsors hitting us up for all of these derbies. So again, we cannot thank them more than we have. If I could, I will. But
yes,
just locals as well. Getting Hooked Lures, an Alberta company, has donated a ton of lure boxes, and I was actually looking through them the other day. They made keychains too, Getting Hooked keychains. So it's pretty cool.
I got one of that. I picked up one of them when they were at the Hooked Up spring opener. They had a lot of really nice new stuff coming out. So be on the lookout for some of there.
Yeah. NRS has given us a bunch of stuff. Again, Aquabatics sponsoring the Angler of the Year for we've got $750 total split between the youth and the adults.
Yep. And like Roy mentioned, we do have Fishing Butler back again. So if you want to keep your rods in all organized, they're fantastic for that.
Those I've got so many of those Fishing Butlers. I don't know what I would do without them, and they're great for everything.
Oh yeah, I use them for more than just rods.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think what else. I mean, there's so many amazing sponsors that have come on board.
We have lots of them. We've got Buzz Bomb too, jumping back on for Cold Lake with the Big Fish Award too, and a few other little nicer ones that unfortunately I can't remember all the names of them. But we can't be what we are today without all these sponsors. That's the thing.
And for everybody that's going to be at the Trout Derby, there will be a Garmin Striker Cast. So the little castable GPS fish finder that syncs up to your phone. There'll be one of those for the Trout Derby. And then there's a 7-inch Echo Map going on the table at the East Slope. So, you know, these companies have been with us for, there's lots of them you'll see that have been with us for 10 years already. Len Thompson, again, you know, they're always involved with us. So it's just great to see. And I might as well let the cat out of the bag. I don't see Denise on here commenting. For the people that are going to the Manitoba Derby, there's going to be a very big prize for the Manitoba Derby too.
Yeah.
So if anybody's got the opportunity to drive out to Manitoba for the Bass Derby, if you're in Saskatchewan, I really suggest you head out there because and make sure you've got room for, you know,
an extra kayak
on your truck.
Yeah.
So, Roy, trout on the fly rules. After catching 3, you have to stop fish. Nope.
No.
It's you're allowed 3 fish. So when you come in though, when you come in to submit your fish, you can't be scrolling through 50 pictures of fish looking for your best 3. You have to come in 1, 2, 3. Those are your 3 fish. So you have to automatically cull yourself, because when you hand me your phone, You're going to put me on your first fish. I'm going to look at it, scroll to the next one, and scroll to the next one. So only 3 photos can be in a row, and that'll be your 3 fish. So if you've got 35 fish that you caught, and it's like your first, your 15th, and your 30th are the ones you want, delete everything else and only save those ones, because or put them into a separate folder, or screenshot them so that those 3 are in a row. Whatever you want to do for your 3, they must all be in a row, because I'm going to take your phone and look at the 3 fish, and then those are the 3 fish that are gone. So yeah, exactly, Roy. You're going to show me those 3 fish. So like I said, for everybody that's fishing the SummerSlam, you might have a whole bunch of fish. Screenshot your best 3 so that they're in order, so that it's just a quick scroll to this one, scroll to this one, scroll to this one, and away we're going to go.
Yeah.
And other than that, yeah, fish on, have fun.
Yeah.
Yes,
That is true.
And that's why I say, if you find your best fish that you want to keep and screenshot them, then we can look at it. But as with anything else, go through, make sure your angler tag's visible, make sure we can see the fish, and it's not logged in Fishing Chaos. So you're gonna have to upload those. Any fish you catch in the sucker derby or the trout, you're gonna have to upload them.
And ensure you do not paddle out to the tournament and catch a fish and accidentally leave your identifier card on the shore.
Yes, that has happened.
I am speaking from experience, unfortunately, and that was the biggest fish of the day for me.
I'm just trying to find. I got to really go back in.
But we'll also.
It's really hard to see, but if you look at the girth of that, that's a rainbow where we're fishing.
Yeah.
There are some stocked ones there that are absolutely enormous.
And also, if a few people have asked me too, we will have coffee that morning. So for all you caffeine addicts, we do have coffee supply, and I will be manning it. So,
and officially now, Saturday night, our wonderful East Slope cookers, Julie and Herbie, will be slinging burgers on Saturday night after the Trout Derby, courtesy of Performance Compression, and the Rimby Co-op are supplying all of that food for everybody. So there'll be burgers and bottles of water there for everybody on Saturday night at the Trout Derby. So
sweet. It's awesome.
Other than that, as Brodyn has said, if anybody has any questions at all, please please make sure any photos that we're not wanting to see are not close to the fish.
Yep.
Keep those pictures of your privates private.
Yep. And if you do message me during the day, I do apologize. I do work a full-time job and have to work with my hands. So if I don't get back to you within the hour, I just have to do my work. But I will get back to you by the end of the day at least. And
he's usually doing a bathroom break about every 2 hours, so he'll get back to you.
No, it's coffee.
Coffee, bathroom, whatever.
I need to restock coffee.
Yeah, no, and like I said, reach out to any of the directors if you have questions on any of the derbies. Myself for the Trout and Sucker. For Buffalo, reach out to Carl Ball. For Southern Alberta Showdown down at Carrollside, reach out to Taryn. For the Okanagan Bass Challenge, reach out to Carl. For Manitoba, reach out to Denise as well. For Denise, you can reach out to her for the Cooley Classic, as well as she can help field your questions with Rubies and Mosier, as well as Flynn on those two. Brodyn's Cold Lake, any of us for East Slope, Carl for Lesser Slave Lake.
Yeah. And obviously me for SummerSlam. One other thing before I forget, I did see Dave Parkinson posted it, and Denise did share it with our group. The Cooley Classic has the big fish trophy, and Dave, that looks amazing. I will give full credit. That's thank you so much for that trophy. That's awesome.
Dave, and not only that, but Dave's company is also sponsoring Big Fish at the Coulee Classic. So anybody that's going to the Coulee, this will be your last year to get in with a $50 entry fee. As of next year, it'll be up to $75. It's a 2-day event, and it sounds like it's going to be more of a charity event again. They found a great charity in Saskatchewan that next year it'll be going to. We didn't get it finished in time, so next year it'll be a charity one. Wishing I was fishing out of Saskatchewan. So it's great. Can't wait to see everybody. For everybody that's getting on the water, please, 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 PFD's on at all times when you're fishing. Not only is it a rule for any of our derbies, but it's for your own safety. We want to make sure that you guys are all around to fish with us at the next derby.
Well said.
Other than that, if you guys have any questions, reach out to us and we will see. Looks like almost 50 already for the trout on the fly, with people coming from Saskatchewan, BC, Alberta, and there's actually a gentleman driving up from the east coast of the States to come up and fish that one. So
if people haven't registered yet, you need to understand that's a 1 in 50 shot of going home with quite possibly over $4,000 worth of electronics.
Yep. Realistically, you could win the Garmin Echo Map 9 HD with live scope from GPS Central and take a half-day guided fishing trip as well, or a Dakota lithium battery to power, a 23 amp hour battery to power that. So
depending on how you finish in the actual tournament,
depending on how you finish and how your luck your draws, you're going to have probably a 1 in 50 chance of winning an absolutely amazing prize courtesy of GPS Central. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you guys have any questions on your sonar, give those guys a call. They are the greatest knowledgeable group. They will ship anything to you anywhere they want. They've always got sonar on sale. I'm obviously going to promote Garmin because I've been running Garmin for years. They gave us a Garmin, but they also carry Lowrance and stuff. So if you've got questions, get hold of them. They will help you out. They're great guys. They've got all the accessories you're ever going to need. And yeah, we'll see you guys in just over a week. Well, just under a week, we're going to be running the captain's meeting, and then we'll see you guys at the lake. So for anybody new that's coming out, just follow along on the Facebook page. We'll be posting up all of the information on how to get out to the lake for the trout derby. If you haven't registered yet or paid yet for the SummerSlam, you have to send your payments for all events to westcankajaktrail@gmail.com. $50 per event. The East Slope is $75. And then if you're going to be camping at any of the events, just reach out to us through Facebook and we'll let you know your total once you let us know what you're coming for. Yeah. So with that, we will see you all later. Have fun. Be safe.
Enjoy the long weekend.
Have a great long weekend. Be safe. And hopefully nobody gets in any squabbles with any power boaters.
Sounds good.